So this is awesome. We had some elections the other night, and as you guys all know, Democrats did well and Republicans didn't. So you had in Ohio, they had the direct vote on weed and abortion, and weed and abortion won. I think ultimately it may have been by double digits in both cases. Crushing. Now, Ohio is a Republican +6 or +8 state, and they overwhelmingly voted for weed and abortion. Okay. You also have what went on in Kentucky, where incumbent Democrat Andy Beshear crushed Cameron, his Republican opponent, and it wasn't looking good. Virginia, now Democrats hold both state legislative bodies, whereas previously they only held one. That hurts Youngkin, also hurts his future presidential ambitions. So Democrats are winning by simply not being Republicans and not being psycho on abortion. Well, needless to say, the Fox News losers don't know how to deal with this. They don't know how to deal with this. They're struggling. And so here's Greg Gutfeld with his thoughts on what happened.
Yeah, I say Democrats are very lucky that they're running against a party with principles. Because when you have principles, you're less likely to compromise in exchange for power, right? So, yeah, sure, Republicans can win and you'll get lower taxes and a stronger economy and more security and less crime. But if that means you're going to give in on abortion, I prefer to lose on principle. I think a lot of people feel that way. Dems, it's usually the opposite. Power trumps principle. It's why they were okay with Soros funding DAs that destroyed our cities. The country suffers, but they won those seats. It's why the original party of free speech comes out in favor of censorship because it's
Oh, please, tell me what the Republicans are saying about pro-Palestine groups right now, you loser. They want to disband them. They want to ban them. Jesus Christ.
Public opinion as disinformation, and they win. It's why they don't mind a non-border, because maybe long-term it will help them with votes, more voters.
The reason why Republicans are losing is because they're so principled. Or maybe it's because they're led by a criminal who was indicted 4 times and has 91 criminal charges against him, a guy who still acts like he won the 2020 election when he didn't. He is the face of extremism on the right, and he leads the party. Maybe it's also because Roe versus Wade was overturned and people correctly blame Republicans for that. The problem is that we're too principled. We're too principled. Or you're too reductive in how you view abortion. That all these states that are going super extreme and saying, ban it from the moment of conception or ban it at 6 weeks or whatever it is, maybe that's way too hard line of view and people simply don't agree with you. Now, to be fair, he says, hey, they're principled and they lose. I'll take it. Well, here's a great example of exactly that. So Matt Walsh, quote, I wouldn't compromise on abortion even if it really did mean losing every election from now to kingdom come. I will never accept abortion. I will never compromise on it. I would play the clip for you, but it's long and he's boring. But he says literally this at the end. Okay, so, hey, Matt Walsh, we have a point of agreement. By all means, proceed, sir. Proceed. Like, man, it is wild to me. They don't, even Sean Hannity has come to a realization here. He's like, I think this is the main issue holding us back. Of course, Hannity's more of a Trump denialist that acts like Trump isn't hurting him, right? Isn't hurting the Republicans. But Hannity pins it all on this. And he's almost like, for the love of God, either stop talking about it or have a more moderate position. Like, I think his thing is 15 weeks, even in the red states. And, maybe that's a good idea. But you got guys like Matt Walsh, who, hey, to be fair, Gutfeld was right with his principled point. He is principally in favor against abortion. And if that means from the moment of conception or it's murder, which I think is what Matt Walsh's position is, then, like I said, by all means, proceed, sir. Because you will continue to get your cheeks Claptington if this is the road that you want to go down. So, look, I say all that to simply point out, good. Keep your principles. And it's so funny, too, because it's like, we are so principally pro-life. But then the immediate question that follows is, okay, are you against the death penalty? And they're like, no, I like that one. So you're pro-life only for gametes and zygotes and pre-gestation fetuses. And by the way, the second the baby's born, you guys know the deal. What happens? Piss off. No child tax credit, no paid maternity leave, no paid paternity leave. We don't care. As soon as they're out in the real world, social safety net, schmoshel schleifly get out of here. We don't care about that, not even in the slightest. So it's pro-life in the most limited, meaningless way you can possibly imagine. That's what they mean when they say pro-life. And so, okay, you want to be principled on just the issue of abortion in this very specific way, by all means, because this will keep happening. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Guys, it is not like the Democrats are wonderful, right? It's just that people look at them in comparison to the Republicans. And it is people are voting more in an anti-Republican kind of way versus a pro-Democrat kind of way. It's not like they're excited for Democrats and how great they're doing. It's just that they're like, these guys are so out of lockstep with us in immeasurable ways. And Matt Walsh is a key example of this. This guy has been the worst at election advice of anybody in the entire country. He's been hideously and horrendously bad. This is the guy who was like, run on trans stuff. And then Republicans did, and everybody was saying it was going to be a red wave, and it wasn't. It was a red trickle. Run on crime stuff. They did, and it was supposed to be a red wave, and it wasn't. It was a red trickle. And so all like the trans fear-mongering, it's like it all comes to naught. Taking your principled stance on abortion to lose? Okay, that's exactly what will happen. So, God bless. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. Thank you for listening to me. As per usual, do me a big favor. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. Remember, you can listen to the show on podcast form over on Spotify if you'd like. And that's all I got for you. Everybody can sign up to support the show as well if you like what we do here. Most of my stuff gets demonetized on Israel and Palestine. So if you support the work we're doing here, you could support on Patreon below or tip with the thanks button on YouTube or sign up over on Crystal Kyle and Friends. All right, guys, I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.